Daniel MacIntyre had a pretty difficult childhood. He had been constantly bullied and picked on by his schoolmates. He hated feeling so weak and defenseless, but there wasn't much that he could do about it. He just learned to live with the misery. That is, until one day when everything in his life changed. Daniel had no idea how it happened, but one day he woke up and he felt very different. It was almost as though he had superpowers. He felt very strongly that he had been given this newfound power in order to help others who were in danger, people that were being picked on or bullied just like he had been. His life had a purpose now. He would show those bullies what it was like to be constantly terrorized. It wasn't long before he was able to put his new skills into action. He was on his way home from work one evening when something made him decide to take the subway. Usually he liked to walk home, but he had a sudden urge to walk down the stairs to the subway. As he reached the bottom of the stairs, he could see a woman and child standing at the other side of the subway station. He was about to turn in the other direction when he suddenly spotted a man wearing a balaclava approach the woman and child. He could see that the man was holding a knife and pointing it towards the woman. Without a second thought, Daniel ran over to the man and began to punch him in the lower back and chest. The man screamed out in pain and looked down to his chest. Daniel was shocked to see hundreds of tiny little spines sticking out from the man's body. Daniel tied the man's hands so he couldn't escape and turned to the woman. "Are you okay?" Thank you, but how did you do that?" The sudden realization of who he was hit Daniel like a high-speed train. "I did it because I am Cactusman." Welcome back to SCP Exposed. Today we bring you the safe class subject, SCP-2800. But before I go on, make sure you like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you won't end up coming to the wrath of Cactusman. SCP-2800 is an anomalous male of Scottish descent, formerly known as Daniel MacIntyre, though he refers to himself as Cactusman, the Spiked Menace. SCP-2800 measures 187 centimeters and 76 kilograms and possesses brown hair and green eyes. He possesses an expanded genome that contains DNA from the saguaro cactus. He also has many anomalous characteristics that are consistent with the natural physical properties of the Carnegiea gigantea plant, more commonly known as the saguaro cactus. SCP-2800 is to be contained in a modified standard humanoid containment chamber that features a large sun lamp. His hero syndrome and dysthymia are to be regularly monitored by psychologists. When possible, he is to be given menial tasks where he can assist others while under close supervision. It has been deemed by staff psychologists that allowing SCP-2800 to assist in these tasks has significantly improved his morale and general disposition. Regular psychological counseling and monitoring for self-harm is recommended for SCP-2800. He has also been placed on suicide watch. SCP-2800 has demonstrated the following anomalous capabilities. The anomalous capacity to instantaneously grow 2 to 3 centimeter spines from all surfaces of its body. The spines fall off naturally, though SCP-2800 can also voluntarily detach these spines. The anomalous capacity to perform crassulacean acid metabolism photosynthesis. SCP-2800 can open pores on its body to function in a manner similar to stomata. He also has the anomalous capacity to use water in a hyper-efficient manner. SCP-2800 can subsist on roughly 1/3 the amount of water needed for an average male of its height and build. He produces roughly 1/5 of the urea that a normal human of its height, build, and diet would normally produce. It is currently hypothesized that he is able to store wastes, such as ammonia, in his body, in a manner similar to other plants. SCP-2800 is also capable of excreting waste through his pores, but describes this process as uncomfortable. He has the anomalous capacity to tolerate above-average temperatures and above-average aridity. SCP-2800 possesses an extremely efficient cooling mechanism that prevents him from overheating easily. In addition, SCP-2800 has demonstrated his ability to prevent his skin from drying out. He has empathic connections with other members of the Cactusman family. Through testing, it has been demonstrated that SCP-2800's metabolic rate increases significantly while he's communicating with cacti. Said cacti are noted to increase water and nutrient absorption from the soil they are planted in while he's communicating with them. SCP-2800 has been diagnosed with several mental disorders, including dysthymia, or chronic depression, and hero syndrome. He expresses an extreme desire to assist others and intervene in situations, even if he is incapable of rendering any form of assistance in such situations. His inability to assist in many situations is believed to have been a cause of his dysthymia. He has expressed frustration in many cases due to his self-perceived inability to provide useful function to others, and has attempted self-harm in the past. SCP-2800 was captured by the Foundation while the organization was attempting to track and contain a reality-bending SCP object that had breached containment. SCP-2800 was found attempting to assault the escaped SCP object, although this proved largely ineffective. After the containment breach was resolved, the Foundation convinced SCP-2800 to be contained. He has been provided a number of potted cacti after his request for them was approved by psychological staff on the grounds of improving his morale. The following is a transcript of an interview conducted by Dr. Loof with SCP-2800. Morning, SCP-2800. How are you today? Hey Doc, I'm pretty good. Got some nice sun today, feeling full of energy. Cactusman is ready to fight some crime. Just point me at the criminals. That's good to hear. I'd like to ask you a few questions if you don't mind. Sure, go ahead. How did you acquire your abilities, and what were the circumstances surrounding your use of them prior to your relocation to the Foundation? To be honest, Doc, I don't know. I woke up one day and boom, cactus powers. Thought that I might as well use them for good, right? I always grew up reading a lot of comic books. Always loved the X-Men as a little kid, so I thought I was one of them. I thought I was the luckiest guy in the world, ending up with superpowers. Doesn't every kid wish that they could be a superhero? Was there any other motivation? Well, to be honest, I got picked on as a kid a lot. A lot of bullies at my school beat the crap out of me all the time. I didn't want what happened to me to happen to anybody else. And that led you to your current status. Yeah, I got out there and dubbed myself Cactusman, the Spiked Menace. Has a pretty good ring to it, don't you think? What happened in your first mission? Drug dealers, man. I hit one of them in the face and left some spines in there. Ended up in the hospital, but what can you do? And what happened then? I tried to do my best. Patrolled some back alleys after work every night. Sometimes I got lucky and saw some situations going on. Though, I didn't do a lot to help. Can you elaborate? Almost every time that I went out to fight crime, I got beat up by the thugs that I was trying to stop. Can you describe the incident leading to your discovery? I found out there was some serial killer who had gone uncaught by the police for months now. I heard that he was some real psycho who forced his victims to enjoy what he was doing to them. Thought if I could get him, I'd break into the big business. I stumbled into his hideout and he got me good. Thankfully, you guys helped me though. Wish I could do the same. Now, about your abilities. You've demonstrated many of them, but the one that you haven't described is your empathic connection to other cacti. Oh yeah, I can talk to them. They're my little sidekicks. Meet Cactalad and Spiky Girl. SCP-2800 presents 2 potted cacti. They say hi, by the way. They don't talk to other people much. What do cacti talk about? Oh, not much. They're quiet folk. It's bloody cold in here. I'm thirsty. I'm a cactus, and whatnot. Not much else. Doc, I have a question for you, though. Yes? Is there, anything that I could do for you guys? No, I don't think so. SCP-2800 looks disappointed. Well, let me know, okay? Cactusman is always ready to help fight evil, you know? I'll be sure to let you know if something comes up that requires your talents. The following is Incident Report 2800-1. While searching surveillance camera footage in the places where SCP-2800 claimed to have lurked, surveillance camera footage from a late-night subway was found involving SCP-2800. The following is a transcript of the event. A woman and a child are seen waiting at a subway station. A man wearing a balaclava is seen to appear from behind a support pillar. and approach the pair while brandishing a knife. The woman and child begin to back away but are stopped by the wall behind them. The child clutches to the woman. The man gestures with the knife. The woman begins to open her purse. SCP-2800 enters into view behind the masked man. He proceeds to walk up to the masked man and punch him in the lower back and chest. The man recoils in pain, and it is seen that SCP-2800 has left several spines in the masked man's back. He proceeds to tie the man's hands. The woman is seen to shake his hand vigorously and embrace him. SCP-2800 kneels on the ground. The child is seen to embrace him, and he then appears to be emotional. The woman makes a call. The child is seen to pull out a piece of paper and write something on the paper. As SCP-2800 begins to walk away, the child calls him back. The child hands him the paper. SCP-2800 writes something on the paper and hands it back to the child. Shortly after, police officers arrive on the scene. What did you think about that SCP case? Please leave your comments below.